Hello and welcome back to the channel, where this week we've found ourselves a genuine barn find. Yes, these things really do exist in England. This one was actually not that far away from us. It's owned by a friend of a friend, and when he saw it in his pal's barn, he said, I know some guys that would probably love to have a play with it, and he weren't wrong. So here we are tasked with making this look as good as new. Now, it's an unknown for us. This has been in that barn for some years for sure. So we're going to get it outside, get it washed, get it clayed, get it back in here, and then we can have a look at it and see what we're dealing with. days later and 2 men on the job, and the GTR barn find is complete, and it's looking a lot better than it did a couple of days ago. Don't get me wrong, as always, there's further we could have gone on certain elements. Engine bay could do with some more TLC, but being totally honest, that really wants a load of parts removing, plating, painting, restoring. And whilst we're kind of handy on the spanners, we're not mechanics, and I don't want to be rebuilding somebody's RB26. So we've given it a little clean, we've gone around the edges, we've dressed it up. It looks okay, but it's not perfect by any stretch of the imagination. However, the rest of the car, I think we got a pretty good result on. Paintwork wise, we did have to hit it just a little bit harder than we were expecting, and that was due to all the etching in the upper surfaces. We ended up settling on a medium compound on a wall pad, and then we followed that up with a medium polish, a one-step polish, sorry, on our medium pad, and that give us a pretty stable result around the whole car. We then topped that off with our graphene, first coat applied by machine, second coat applied by hand, just so you can get into all the areas and bits and bobs that you can't get a machine into, to make sure everything's covered, and that should last it well. We've done all the other bits and pieces as well, tyres, windows, trim, even the interior's had a deep clean, and that has brought us to this stage. I hope you enjoy the afters of this car, and thank you for watching if you've made it all the way to the end. Please like, subscribe, drop a comment if you've got a car like this one, or you know somebody that has. Put us in touch, because we enjoy these jobs. We don't do them for money, that's not what we're about here. We develop products, and this helps us develop our range and put it through its paces right at the upper end of what it will do out in the field. Thanks again for watching. We'll see you on the next one.